subscribers in America. Oh, man. Okay, whatever. So, it is Labor Day weekend for the rest of you guys across the globe. Happy Sunday. So, this right here is a Lamborghini Gallardo. But only if you work for ABC13.com. Now, ABC13.com, that is not a Gallardo. I know it's really hard to come by Lamborghini Gallardo photos. I mean, it's only been like one of the most popular, the most popular Lamborghini for like over a decade. Come on! And the Huracan is a brand new car, and yet you can find a photo of this, but not of the Gallardo. But anyway, I digress. This story right here, which I'm a couple days late on, is an 18-year-old dying in a crash in a Lamborghini Gallardo. So the story pretty much is, I know you go, 18-year-old driving a Lamborghini. What is going on? What is this world coming to? Well, he's not the owner. It wasn't a rental situation. The owner, I believe, was about 48 or so years old, and it was like 2:30 in the morning in Long Island, and the owner had given this opportunity, described by the media as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I don't know if they're quoting someone who's not available to be quoted, or that's just them doing their thing, but anyway, I'm pretty sure he was pretty excited about driving a Lamborghini at 2:30 in the morning, nonetheless, with no traffic. But anyway, so he got to drive this car, somehow lost control. I believe they said about 100 feet of guardrail was removed by this Lamborghini Gallardo, this all-wheel drive Lamborghini Gallardo. The driver of the car, the 18-year-old Samuel Shepard, died, unfortunately, in the crash. He was not wearing his seatbelt. Now, I do realize that there are situations where wearing a seatbelt can kill you. So it's a little bit controversial. Some people are for it, some people are against it, some people are saying, why should the law require me to wear my seatbelt? It's my life. If I don't want to wear a seatbelt, then it's my prerogative. But regardless, he wasn't wearing his seatbelt, and in this scenario, probably he would have been okay, because guess what? My understanding is the owner of the car, who was in the passenger seat, had minor injuries in this horrific crash. So, hats off to Lamborghini safety in a Lamborghini Gallardo. The gentleman in passenger seat could survive a crash like this with his seatbelt on, and he is pretty much good to go. We saw a major crash in Brooklyn as well. That was a Lamborghini Aventador, and this guy just walked away from the crash, and the car exploded, split in two. That video was on his channel as well. Click right here to take a look at that video. But here we have a really, look at this. This car it's a bundle of metal. Look at what's left of it, but the passenger was okay. Unfortunately, the driver, no seatbelt, so he flew out of the car, and he is no longer with us. So that's pretty sad to hear, especially for a young guy like this, 18 years old. He had just graduated from high school. He was on his way to join the military. I don't know if he had joined already. Probably he did already. And his life was cut short just for one night in this Lamborghini Gallardo, which ended tragically, unfortunately. And I know people are going to look at this and say, why do you have an 18-year-old driving a Lamborghini? This is just like those parents with that kid that was shooting the Uzi and killed the guy. Did you see that story? Go to Tim's Take Live and take a look at that story.
Parents took their 9-year-old daughter to learn how to shoot automatic weapons at a place called Bullets and Burgers.
Link is in the description. You can take a look at that video. So people are trying to compare the two. What are you doing giving an 18-year-old the steering wheel of a car like this? And I love how the media is like, we don't know how fast he was driving, but the car tops out at over 200 miles per hour. What relevance is the top speed of the car to how fast he was driving? Are you trying to play a little mind game there so people can just, all they hear, they take what they want to hear, like 200 mile per hour car, he was maybe going that fast, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what kind of games they're playing. But anyway, bottom line is they say speed was definitely a factor. Sounds again like the Paul Walker situation. One thing I'd like to comment on, this is an all-wheel drive car, and that means tons and tons of traction. And I can tell you from personal experience with the Gallardo on the racetrack, and you can see videos of me driving Lamborghinis on this channel, so go ahead and take a look at some of the videos. But I will tell you right now, tremendous amounts of grip I mean, just mind-blowing amounts of grip. I'm talking about you feel like someone is pushing with all their might to push you out of the car in a turn. That's the level of G-forces that this car can take. But that's a double-edged sword. People can look at this and say, you know, hey, all this grip, whatever. It's a Lamborghini. It's so expensive. I can do whatever I want to do with all the automatic systems and blah, 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 and all the traction control and all-wheel drive. Hey. Still, you have to respect the vehicle. You have to respect the conditions, especially being on the open road. These are not controlled situations. I mean, there could be oil spill, gravel, all kinds of things, and there's going to be limited things in what you can do in a Lamborghini. Again, on my channel, you can see these cars being driven in water conditions and sliding around and all that kind of stuff, so it's very amazing, but still. You've got to respect the road. You've got to respect the tremendous power of these vehicles. And you can't drive these vehicles like, you know, hey, all-wheel drive, I can do whatever I want. No, you cannot do whatever you want. Take a look on YouTube. There's tons of videos of people losing control of Lamborghinis. So all-wheel drive, it can only go so far. Because I don't care how many wheel drive you have. If none of the wheels have traction, you got problems there. So that is something for you to consider. Now, I do realize that this was a young man, only 18 years old. I know that there are maturity issues potentially in terms of, just willingness to take risks at that young age. But I know that there have been people 2 times and 3 times his age that have gotten into Lamborghinis with the idea that the cars are invincible. They are not. There have been cars much more expensive than Lamborghinis that have lost control. I mean, frankly, the Porsche Carrera GT is much more expensive than the Lamborghini Gallardo. So it's not about the price of the car. It's about the realities of driving a high-performance vehicle on open road that's uncontrolled. You never know what's going to happen. And also, that's a lot of power that car has. So the other thing is, I know people are going to think about, why did the owner let this young kid drive the car? Why did he allow him to drive the car without the seatbelt on? But you know what? I don't know. I wasn't there. I certainly don't trust the media. They could be giving us incorrect information. So all I can report is on what they're saying, and it doesn't look good. But again, I don't know the situation or the scenario. All I can say is, for people listening, hey, wear your seatbelt. I know it's controversial again, but wear your seatbelt, and also, just be smart, man. I have some subscribers that are young guys, and you guys want to drive these sports cars, these powerful cars, and it's just. I think you need to really, really slow your roll when you're young. Like, for example, I ride motorcycles. I'm glad, a lot of motorcycle videos on his channel. I'm glad that I didn't start riding a motorcycle until I was, an adult. I was not a young adult. I mean, I was pretty quote-unquote old when I started riding motorcycles, because I might not be alive today if I started riding when I was in my teens or even early 20s. So some of you guys, man, and I see some of the posts that people are making and stuff like that, and you guys are going fast, and you're watching these movies, Fast and Furious and stuff like that. That's TV, man. In real life, things are a little bit different. You guys really need to be careful. I really, really recommend if you're young, 25 and younger, that and this is matching up with insurance. That's why insurance is high for that age group. When you're young, 25 and under, I'm telling you, man, I know when you're young, you think you know everything, and you grow up, you're like, I'm a man now, 22, 23. Man, you're still growing up. You're still maturing. Some of you are more mature than others, but you're still young, man, and you need to really, really slow your roll. Obviously, there's people who can drive high-performance cars. Someone's going to come right now and say, hey, man, I got a 500 horsepower or a Mustang, blah, blah, and I don't have any problem. Yeah, you know what? I'm sure there's people that have run across a highway and didn't die. You know what I mean? So just because you survived doesn't mean that it's a cool thing to do. I definitely recommend against high-performance vehicles when you're a young age, because again, you're still developing, man, and your level of maturity is just not quite there. The way that you think, it's just it's compromised at a young age. So it's better, there's lots of great cars, BRZ, FRS, you can get some cars that are really fun to drive. One of the first cars I had was actually a Celica, which was an awesome car. I loved it, really fuel efficient, sporty looking, cheap insurance, you know what I mean? And I know overtaking people kind of sucked in the car, but it was still a fun car, still a great car. There's tons of cars that you can have and have a great time in them without getting into these really powerful cars that really, really require a higher level of maturity to drive them safely. So just younger subscribers and whoever's listening to this video, just consider that. I know it's a lot of fun, whatever. Go to a go-kart track or something like that. Just stay away from these high-performance vehicles when you're young. Build up a track record of being responsible with your vehicle, with your four-cylinder vehicles, your turbocharged cars and stuff like that. I know you could get really injured even in a low-power vehicle, so it's not just about the power. It's also about having responsibility, your driving skill, and just your judgment. Judgment's a really key factor. You can drive an 80 horsepower, I don't know if there's an 80 horsepower car, but 80 horsepower car, and you can still roll that puppy right down the ditch. So it's not just about the power of the car. However, the power of the car requires or makes things a lot more serious or potentially deadly. Anyway, so that is the story. Link is in the description. And if you want to see an actual Huracan, which is this car, which ABC13, where's ABC13? Where are you guys? This car. You want to see this actual awesome car, the brand new car from Lamborghini with the new Anima mode, which is kind of like the M mode in the BMW. But anyway, you want to see what this car is like, you want to see a video about this car, check out my buddy, Dr. M3. Check it out. Check out his video. And while you're at it, subscribe. Here's a little bit of his video. And we'll skip right to the action.
One finger. Wow.
So you can see his test drive of the new Lamborghini Huracan LP610-4 on Dr. M3's channel. Link is in the description. And don't forget to check out my buddy Tim from Tim's Take Live to take a look at that video of this 9-year-old who kills the shooting instructor with an Uzi. Wow. But anyway, you are watching Carlyle's Picks, and this has been a news break. And just to let you guys know, some of you who are not subscribed to my channel, got a lot of awesome content. Like right now, I'm actually working on a how to drive a stick shift series. Look at that! Where else do you get a nice view of the clutch pedal, the brake pedal, and the gas pedal? Full instructions on how to drive a stick shift right here on Carlyle's Picks. So definitely subscribe. Thumbs up this video, comment below, and share the video. And if you are a motorcycle fan, so am I. I'm actually working on a series of how to drive a motorcycle. We got a 4-camera setup. There is your shifter, there is your tachometer, and there is your throttle, and there is your clutch lever. It's all here, full detail, letting you see the full process here. So if you're a new rider, definitely stay tuned, subscribe for my How to Ride a Motorcycle series that is upcoming. And for those of you who ride motorcycles already, you're advanced. I got some advanced techniques as well. Top speed, how to top out your motorcycle. How to do rev matching and all kinds of stuff. Going to the racetrack, preparing your motorcycle for the racetrack. All that stuff is coming right here on Carlyle's Picks. And don't forget to subscribe also to Your Fast Life, which is my car and motorcycle channel. Pretty much all you see on that channel is cars and motorcycles. On this channel, it's that plus much, much more. Jets, boats, tech, travel, all right here on Carlyle's Picks. Happy Sunday, happy Labor Day, and until next time.